In the wake of this terrible helicopter accident, the biggest question everyone's asking is what happened? How did this helicopter go down? Let's be sure about a couple of things. This was a reliable helicopter, is part of the workhorse fleet of the Indian Air Force and was flown by some of the most experienced pilots and maintained by some of the best maintenance staff. So there was nothing wrong with the helicopter that we know of. The Defence Minister has told Parliament that contact was lost between air traffic control in Coonoor and the helicopter at 12:08 p.m. Now, what does this actually mean? There is very high frequency of VHF radio communication possible. That's the voice communication between an ATC tower and the helicopter. That could have failed at 12:08 p.m. But there is another thing that could have failed, which is a transponder, which is the other method by which ground stations are able to keep tabs on a helicopter's health. The transponder gives altitude, bearing and speed indicators to the air traffic control. So we don't know yet what loss of contact meant. Was it only radio or was it all of the above? The only piece of visual information about the crash is a 15-second video showing the helicopter apparently disappearing into a wall of clouds. Now, from where it has been filmed by locals, it does appear that the aircraft is fully in control. There doesn't appear to be any engine failure or power failure, but the aircraft appears to be moving into a cloud. Experts believe that the pilots are fully in control, but they may have been flying too low at this point of time in order to avoid a cloud deck that was above them. And before they could actually make any evasive maneuvers, they may have impacted terrain. Now, the point is the black box, which contains the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder, are the only two instruments that can provide a full picture of what the situation was and, more importantly, what the pilot's intentions were at this point of time. Because the weather in this area is predictable, people know what this is. This is a routine flight path that pilots take from Coonoor to Wellington very, very often. In fact, it is a training helipad where they were to land at the Wellington Gymkhana Club. So what really may have happened? A series of factors, including weather, the possibility of combination of adding factors, including a mechanical failure, are possible at this point of time, but anything more than that would be conjecture. What we do know is that these were some of the best pilots who have flown such missions many, many times before, and therefore the crash inquiry will have to look at every aspect of what happened in the cockpit, what the parameters of the aircraft were, and put all of those pieces together to give a final picture of what doomed that Mi-17. There has been speculation about controlled flight into terrain or even pilot disorientation in the cockpit. Now, this would be quite difficult because it takes time for such a situation to actually set in, added to the fact that these were very, very experienced pilots, one of them being a commanding officer of that helicopter unit. But once again, all of these remain possibilities, and like we've been saying here on India Today, it is a combination of factors that likely led to this horrifying accident. And the black box, the data in it, the voices of the pilots before communication was lost with them will tell that final story.